How many times do I gotta tell you guys stop trusting women whose upper lip disappears when she smiles? We've gone over this several times, and apparently Eric Swalwell over here did not get the memo. If you haven't heard, because it has not been on mainstream outside of Fox News, which we're at right now, California Rep Eric Swalwell was targeted by this actually lovely, I mean, make no mistake, a stroke all day, but definitely a pullout, young lady right here for being a Chinese spy. And before we get this party started, I would like to reference back to the Chinese conundrum video that I did, because at the end of that video, I said, hey, it's always about the money. Technically, I'm right, because in a lot of men's minds, vagina is currency. So let's get into this. Pull it all the way back.
A story with all the salacious elements: power, sex, international intrigue. California Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell insists he has done nothing wrong and is cooperating with authorities about his relationship with a woman accused of being a Chinese spy. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mike Emanuel has details tonight on this. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. A major critic of President Trump during impeachment is now under intense scrutiny after revelations he had close ties with an alleged Chinese spy before being elected and even after to Congress.
I was shocked when, just over 6 years ago, I was told about this individual.
Yet Fox News has learned today Congressman Eric Swalwell's father and brother are still Facebook friends with an alleged Chinese spy. Axios was first to report Swalwell was part of a...
Oh, she got in there deep, huh? Because from what I heard, he wasn't the only one that was clapping them cheeks. There was like quite a few guys. She went up and down, I guess, the West Coast political scene. Just, hey, you're looking for that next great Schmeat the Ride to glory, and she found it.
A group of Northern California Democrats targeted by a Chinese national named Fang Fang, or Christine Fang. She's suspected of...
We're just gonna call her Christine Fong. Fong, it feels racist. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. When you say like the last name, or you say like, like Ling Ling or Woo Woo, it feels a little breakfast at Tiffany's ish.
Being an operative for China's Ministry of State Security. White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany says it was never Russia and the Republicans, it was the Democrats in China.
She is a fucking smoke show. Seriously, Kayleigh McEnany. The main reason I don't cover a lot of her press conferences or briefings is because what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna sit there like, yo, she fine, she bad, huh? What? I wouldn't even be able to pay attention.
Swalwell suggests this leaking out is payback.
If this is a country where people who criticize the president are going to have law enforcement information weaponized against them, that's not a country that any of us want to live in.
Swalwell insists he cooperated fully and did nothing wrong.
I'm grateful that our FBI back in 2015 reached out to me. They showed great professionalism in seeking to alert me.
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham noted a double standard on Twitter. Democrats get defensive briefings when there are concerns about foreign influence, but when it came to President real Donald Trump, they used a counterintelligence investigation to spy on his campaign.
Well, yeah, because that entire thing was completely illegal, which, well, it definitely wasn't in the bounds of good taste. But we've gone over this since the Andrew Yang video. If you are unfamiliar, it was always it always struck me as odd. And this is no disrespect to my yellow American brothers and sisters, all right? At the individual level, we cool. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with these different governments and different entities, and apparently Christine Fong over here trying to undermine the country.
After this revelation, leading House Republicans say Swalwell should have never been put on the Intelligence Committee.
I think they took him off his intelligence off a lot of intelligence committees because you've been compromised, my guy. Be it of no actions of your own, you're still compromised. I mean, who the hell knows? Maybe she injected you with a vaccine that can spy on you at any given time. I mean, they're doing crazy things over there in China when it comes to espionage, right?
Like Representative Swalwell was identified, cultivated, and potentially funded by a Chinese communist spy. And that this happened before he came to Congress. Once he got to Congress, there are real questions about whether or not Speaker Pelosi knew this when she put him on the House Intel Committee.
Swalwell.
Maybe not. I mean, from his position, he says he didn't know. And honestly, shoot, you sitting there clapping them fine Chinese cheeks without paying attention to the fact that her upper lip disappears when she smiles. Shoot, you can get caught up too. I mean, chicks get schmeat drunk, dudes get cut drunk.
Says House leadership was aware of this issue and still assigned him to intelligence. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Well, that's not very intelligent, is it? I mean, if they knew, hey, yeah, this chick that you've been balls deep inside of is actually a spy for China, and still put you on the committees, man, like that's not very intelligent.
Spokesman responded, the Speaker has full confidence in Congressman Swalwell's service in the Congress and on the.
Yeah, but can we be real? I mean, Nancy Pelosi's confidence or a vote of confidence from Nancy Pelosi really means what we in the industry like to call diddly squat.
Intelligence Committee. In a video recently uploaded and then removed from Chinese social media, a Chinese professor spoke openly about Beijing's past efforts to infiltrate the U.S.
No matter what kind of crises, we fix everything in 2 months. It's just because.
Okay, so we already gone through all of this stuff, and they're 100% right to draw back to it. Shoot, I already did. Let's go back to old girl, because she ain't terrible. She ain't hard on the eyes. I can kind of get it, Eric. Wow, like balls deep. Might be sitting there saying, yeah, like she on top, like, hey, what are the nuclear codes? And shoot, you give it all up, my dude. you give the whole kit and caboodle. But either ways, guys, I once again, I noticed that it was brought to my attention, actually, that MSM outside of Fox hadn't really talked about this, and so why not? It involves all the things that we really like to get into over here, but I will leave posing you this question, gentlemen. Would you sell out the country for that? I mean, she's attractive enough, but to sell out the entire country? Knowing or unknowing? I'd love to hear what your opinions are in the comments. All the internet stuff. If you like to toss it a like, dislike, go ahead and do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring. And YouTube, Bitchute, and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from the Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Yeah, this is it sucks for Mr. Swalwell. From what I've heard, he's been removed from the committees that he was sitting on because, you're a compromise. Nancy Pelosi sitting here, I have all the confidence in the world. Yeah, after that's not really refreshing. It really isn't refreshing at all, but we're seeing how everything plays out right now, and we'll continue to do that, baby, day at a time, because that's what life is. Until the next one.